thanks for taking a couple of minutes to have a chat to us. You were playing with Fenerbahce in the EuroLeague semi-finals when the injury happened. Can you just give us a brief overview of what happened and what was going through your mind when it happened?
Yeah, playing in a pretty intense game in Turkey, two very big rivals, and along with 20,000 or odd screaming crazy fans. Having lighters thrown at you, coins, water bottles, all the works. Just really nothing special. Fast break pass was thrown up in the air. I jumped up, caught it, landed as I would have done a million times, and just felt my knee go out. Felt a bit of a pop or a snap, and didn't feel too great about it at the time. It hurt for a few minutes, and then after it settled down, really didn't feel that bad, and attempted to keep playing, and then realised I wasn't feeling very stable in that left leg, and after a few different tests and seeing a few different people, realised it was my ACL.
Did you, when you were sort of in the change rooms or courtside, did you do anything physically to see whether, were you running forwards and backwards?
Yeah, look, I went for a jog. I was warm, so when you're warm and the adrenaline's going, you really don't feel things as clearly as when you've cooled down. So I tried to keep warm, and I was running and testing it out, and I thought I was good to go, and obviously went back out there and tried. It wasn't until I really caught the ball and pivoted on that left leg, felt like I was going to fall over, and I realised that it wasn't right.
I guess as a competitor and in a game like that, like you say, where the crowd's getting into it, it's pretty easy to want to jump back into the action.
Yeah, that was my I wanted to get back out there as quick as I can. They came with ice, and I was like, a bit of tape or whatever, and ended up just heading back out there with a little bit of trepidation, because I hadn't really had that feeling before, but hoping I could just run through it.
Yeah, I heard Graffy say that she was screaming at the laptop at you when you came back on. What's been the dialogue, I guess, with Graffy since you did it and through that whole situation where you got the bad news? Yeah,
it was a long process trying to be sure. Once I cooled down, I realised it was a little more serious than I'd first thought, and she was obviously letting me know that I probably shouldn't have gone back on that second time. But look, it's all in hindsight. You can say things clearly, but her main focus was getting me the medical staff and the medical treatment I needed to get at the time, and Basketball Australia have been so helpful in that.
Yeah. So obviously you've been a key member of the Opals program for a long time. You're part of the World Championship winning team and that sort of thing. Who do you think is going to be the obvious choice to fill in for your role and provide that sort of that physicality and that offensive punch for the team?
Well, I think it'll be a number of people. I think everyone can contribute in their best way to their strengths, and we've got so much talent, to choose from. Belinda Snell, who's proven herself over and over. Jenna O'Hea, who has, from what everyone's told me, had such a great WNBL season. And look, you've got Susie Bakovic, who's had an amazing year. Elizabeth Cambridge, who will only be better this year from the Worlds. And Lauren, obviously, is always at her high level. So really positive things, and really everyone can contribute something to sort of, fill the little bit of a void left by me.
So it's a bit more than a little bit, but that's fair enough. Looking at, I guess, the size of the Opals team this year, with Susie and Liz and Jenna and Abby and all those sorts of players, it's probably an asset that the team hasn't had before. Is that going to be one of their strengths going into the tournament, particularly playing against a team like the USA, the amount of size and their ability to, I guess, to own the glass in a lot of games?
Yeah. The size and the strength is something you have to address, obviously, with the US. In every position they have athletic, strong, fast, talented players. So we have just as much, as far as our post players go, definitely, Lauren and Liz having this time together and having the chance to really have more chemistry, perhaps, than in the Worlds. And I really look forward to seeing how they're going to work together. And Lauren and Susie, work really well together because of, having played together for so long. So It's going to be really exciting, and I can't wait to see that matchup with players like Sylvia Fowles and Tina Charles and Candice Parker. I'm really interested to see and really hopeful about how we're going to go.
Yeah. We've drawn Brazil in the first round, and looking at the farewell series where we get the chance to play them, just before we head off. I mean, is that, in your Opals career, having the opportunity to do things like that, play teams just prior, particularly teams that are going to push you, is that a benefit to the girls to play a 3-game series like that?
Yeah, I think it'll be great, and the fact that it's here in Melbourne and people get to see the Opals team and have some exposure to what the team will be that's representing us in the Olympics is a real positive. And as far as playing against Brazil, of course, it's huge. And playing against any quality team in the lead-up is so huge for the team and give us a real gauge of how far we have to go before the Olympics, what things we need to work on, and it'll be a real positive for Graffy and the coaching staff.
Yeah. I just want to ask you a question, I guess, about your own career and your own achievements, particularly internationally. What are some of the highlights and what are some of the best memories for your career looking back?
Yeah, I've been so lucky. I've really had the opportunity to play on great teams with great players. I mean, I'd have to say Olympics, silver medals, 2 silver medals for me has been up there. WNBA championships in 2007 and 2009, huge highlights for me because they were so hard fought and took so much physical and mental effort. I've been lucky enough to win in Italy, to win in Russia, to win in Turkey, to play with some of the best players in the world, to play against some of the best players in the world, which can sometimes teach you more than anything. And I really can't complain of having gotten to this point and not had a serious injury like this. That's why I'm obviously looking at the positive side of it.
And I guess just finally, it's probably been posed to you, in the past, but obviously, the height of your career, 4 years from now, you're still going to be in good shape. Are you thinking that do the proper rehab now, and there's still time for another Olympics and another crack at potentially a gold medal?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not someone who looks that far ahead. I definitely think that if I am playing at this level, that I was a couple of weeks ago, that I would definitely make myself a part of it. And if I'm not, then maybe it's time for the next sort of generation and their turn. But look, that'll be something that'll sort itself out. Definitely, I think that this injury, as disappointing as it is, may give me a little bit more time on the end of my career. But yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, they say women peak later in their careers, so I'm hoping that's the case, and I've got a few more to go. Yeah,
well, it's a scary prospect if you haven't peaked yet. That's exciting for Aussie basketball. Thanks for taking the time to chat to us, and good luck with the rehab.
Thank you very much.